we can never really go all out, because even if you couldn't you always do more? Couldn't you always grow and become more? How do you know that you're giving your best? Back in like high school, I used to think that just being a hermit and focusing on training and combat, because like running the best you can is like honorable, but nobody cares if you run that race, hit that time. I don't care. Your spouse doesn't care. And probably you don't care. You don't care if you hit those times, if they cost you something that's more important. If you want to do the best that you can, it has to be within a lifestyle that you want. Now, really often when I get on a call with someone who's interested in coaching, I ask them what their goals are. We dig really deep into this, and normally we get to a point where a lot of people, maybe like 30 to 40% of people, they say something like, I want to be able to know that I gave my best. I want to give my absolute best. I want to leave nothing on the table. I want to give it my all so that I never wonder if I could have done better. So I think when we say things like this, what we're saying is that when it comes to race day, I really want to run as hard as I can. That's really what they're saying. They want to get to the finish line feeling like they got every second that they could have, and they couldn't have really done much better because they ran intelligently. But I'll tell you that if you want to give everything you've got, then here's what it would take. You would probably quit your job, leave your family, move to high altitude, hire a personal coach, take ice baths every day, a sauna every day. You would have organically grown produce. You would travel to the fastest races. You would do all these things. You would sell your house in order to pay for all of this. You would leave your family. And this probably isn't what you want. And so the point of this is really that if you want to do the best that you can, it has to be within a lifestyle that you want. And we won't do things for our training that inhibit our lifestyle. So if you think that you don't have enough time to train and you want to do your best that you can, but if you think that time is going to be taken away from your children or your grandchildren or your spouse who you love very much and just love spending time with, and you know, when you get home at the end of the day at 6 o'clock, you want to have dinner and sit on the couch and snuggle and watch Netflix or something like that. If that's really important to your life, then you probably shouldn't get out there and be running during that time, because it's going to cost you something that is more important to you. So how do you know that you're doing your best? And this is individual for everybody. And here's what I suggest to you. After doing this for so many years, helping people with this, what I found to be true is this. If you have an area of your life that really needs focus right now, like you're building a business and you're building a house or you're working on a relationship, if you have a part of your life that just demands your attention right now, that's way more important, a health crisis with yourself or with a loved one, then you probably shouldn't be focusing on your running too much. Now, running might come second or third or fourth or fifth, somewhere on that list. And depending where it is on that list will determine how much of yourself you want to give to it. And you don't want to give 100% if you have something that's more important. Now, look, family is probably always more important. Creating an income and a lifestyle for yourself is probably always more important. So running will almost never rank number one, but it can rank number one in this scenario. If you have these other things kind of at a place where they can just be maintained, your relationship is good, your finances are good, your job is good, and you're going to come back to them later in life, maybe later this year, and you're going to improve them and you're going to give them some focus. But right now, they're doing okay because you've given them focus in the past. But running is available now to receive your focus. If that's where you are, it's really important to you, number one, and it deserves your attention now. If that's you, then you can put a little bit more, a lot bit more into your training. So I'm not telling you not to level up. Perhaps you should level up. But this idea of like giving it our all, we never really mean that, because giving it your all is like, I'm reminded of Bekele, one of the greatest distance runners who's ever lived. You know, world record holder in the 5K, 10K, second fastest marathon of all time when he ran Berlin a few years ago. Now it's the third fastest of all time. Kelvin kipped him. And you know what he did leading up to the Olympics in 2008 is he left his family. He didn't like divorce his wife. He just like left and went to training camp, trained at altitude, no cell phone, he just like focused on training, and that's it. And who knows what it cost him. But he was really going for the best that he could. And he had an entire team working with him because he was the best in the world, a contender for a gold medal, a world record holder. And that's what it means to go all out. And who knows if he even went all out. Maybe he left something on the table. I don't know what, because I don't know the guy, but we can never really go all out, because even if you could, couldn't you always do more? Couldn't you always grow and become more? How do you know that you're giving your best? Really? Do you even know what ideal nutrition is? Do you know about cold immersion and brown adipose tissue? Do you know about contrast therapy? Do you know about NAD plus supplementation? Do you know about plyometric training? Do you know about sleep, how to maximize sleep? Like, do you know all these things? Do you already know? If you do, great. If you don't, it's like, what else don't we know? So we can never give our all. So I want to just leave you with this. Your running is not that important. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Nobody cares if you run that race, hit that time. I don't care. Your spouse doesn't care. And probably you don't care, okay? You don't care if you hit those times, if they cost you something that's more important. I used to think back in like high school, I used to think that there was some kind of prestige or honor in just being a hermit and focusing on training and combat, because like running the best you can is like honorable. And you know, I thought of Steve Prefontaine living in his camper and being a bartender because he didn't have any money and just trying to go for the best in the world. But the truth is that even Prefontaine, he had meaningful relationships. You know, that's why it inspired 2 movies to be made about him. And he was only 24 when he died. He was really young. I think if he kept going into his 30s and his 40s, if he were here today, I don't know what he'd be doing, but I doubt he'd be training like that. He would have found a deeper purpose to be able to contribute with his training and what he's doing. And so that's what you need in order to excel long term in your running, is to know where your running ranks in your priorities. And when it comes time for running to be a priority, not because it's more important than your spouse or your kids or your job, but because those things are okay, they're good, and you're now gonna focus on your running for a bit. That's your opportunity to really go for something new. Train more frequently, train harder. And when it's not time for that, then I want you to just kind of let yourself off the hook a little bit. I want you to go for a goal that is really meaningful to you, but then define what success is. And success is not killing yourself every single day, leaving it all on the line. Success might be doing that on race day, but I'll tell you, you could only train 20 miles a week and then run a marathon and kill yourself and run whatever, a 4-hour marathon. Or you could train at a much higher level, 100 miles a week, and you could run that marathon maybe much faster. So it's like on race day, you might go as hard as you can, but it might yield not the best result that you're capable of, because even though you gave everything you had on race day, you didn't give everything you had in training. And that, my friend, is okay. Give everything that you can, but not everything that you have. This has been Andrew Snow with Run Elite. Train happy, train consistently, and don't neglect speed. I'll see you on the next video. Thank you. Thank you so much for watching our videos, and thank you so much if you're one of our readers who's got the book and left us an awesome review. But if you haven't yet, go ahead and pick up a copy of the book, and thank you for making it a success.